How to talk to AI so it stops giving you garbage answers.
You're not bad at AI. You're just talking to it wrong. This is Local AI Lab, a live networking event, Q&A, and podcast all in one. I'm Jonathan. This is Lucas. Let's go.
What kind of questions do we have today?
So yeah, we had 5 questions. We're going to start with the first one. Why do most people get bad results from AI?
From what I've seen or from my experience and helping people in my day-to-day how to use AI, I've seen that people still treat AI like Google or like a search engine.
Yeah.
So they kind of ask it questions that are very vague. They don't give it any context. AI doesn't have access to what you're trying to achieve. So they are just asking random questions without any context, without giving it good information on what you're looking for, and then expecting really good answers.
Yeah, that's the thing. AI isn't falling, it's exposing vague thinking. If your input is vague, they default to generic patterns. We need to add constraints, audience, goal, format, and outputs become measurable, more specific, and useful. We always talk about when we are creating images, providing a copy of the image instead of just giving the whole props. Maybe you can add references or inspiration. We talk about Gemini. If you are trying to do a research, we know Gemini could be much better for doing research, but in that case, it's pretty much the same. You can provide maybe story context, name, address, being more specific. You need to do the homework before start.
Yes, of course. You need to know what are you looking for, and yeah, and do your homework.
You need to remember AI is a tool, but everything starts here, man. So, question number 2, what's the number one thing people forget?
I think the number one thing people forget is, like you just said, giving it context, doing their homework. AI is not going to know what output you're looking for unless you know what you're looking for. So one example that we like to use all the time is using AI is like hiring a freelancer. So the more context you give the freelancer, the more answers you give it, the more you tell it about your company and what your output that you're looking for, the better results that you're going to get.
Yeah, it's not that you can't use AI. You can define your context. That's the problem. It's all about the context. Put the context first, then the task. Prompt orders matters. Question number 3. What does a good prompt look like?
Well, like we were saying, giving it context, giving it your goal, what are we looking for, what are we trying to achieve. So, for example, if you are trying to do a social media post, we always use the same example of the events company, right?
Yep.
So, if you want to do a social media post for an events company in Miami, in the more context that you give it, what kind of events are you looking for? What do you want to promote? Where is it located? What is the area that you worked at the most? And you give it all that good context instead of just saying, "Hey, ChatGPT, give me a social media post." It's a big difference on the result that you're gonna get.
I have this example that you mentioned events. Yeah, we have the event company, BNB Events. We also have one of the projects, one of my companies is Apple Noodle is a meal prep project. And the bottleneck was the design. And it was a problem because our photographer was taking the pictures of the final product. And okay, but we were in a position that, okay, we need to edit this. We need actually an actual result for this because we need to start offering this. We need to provide the menu for clients. And we use Gemini, Nano Banana for this. But what we did was using the result our photographer provide us, we use it as a prompt. We have this, please, I need different angles, maybe, and this is our kitchen, and this is how it looks. It's gonna look. We provide examples of other events, and based on that, the result was
They look
beautiful.
very good, yeah. No, it's
It
very
looks,
professional.
it looks so professional, you know.
Yeah.
We were able to start the business with that. To be honest with you, that was a bottleneck.
Especially with food, right? Because people want to see what they're gonna eat
Yep.
and what they're gonna receive, and it has to look good. It has to look, something that you want to eat it, right? Correct.
So that's the thing. And it was all about the context we provide. This is another example for coding. I know you talk a lot about integrate tools in your IDE instead of I do it like old school. And old school, I'm talking at 2025. And what I do is I copy and paste the code and say, okay, I need to improve this. I have a bug here, help with this. I'm still coding old school, so this is not like I'm trying to transition to.
No, and I have to show you something new that Claude now has a Chrome extension.
Okay.
So you use the Chrome extension and it takes screenshots of what you are working on in that tab,
Okay.
and it does things for you. It's incredible. We'll talk about it at some point.
That's crazy, man. Question number 4. How should people use back and forth?
That's a very good question. Again, we'll come back to the freelancer. When you're working with someone new, it could be a little frustrating to teach them from scratch everything that your business is doing, your processes, your workflows. Maybe you don't have the best documentation. So sometimes, the AIs, I know that that's one of the big complaints that people usually have, that the AIs don't have a very good memory, or they forget about things, or they don't give you the exact answer that you're looking for at the beginning. And the more you teach it, the more you give it, the more information that you give it, the better it gets. But sometimes it still forgets on what you're working on. But having that good back and forth and keep teaching the AI, keep using that same project, keep taking your own notes as well so that you could copy and paste them. If the AI forgets, then that's a good back and forth always to have.
Yeah, but you need to make sure that that option is active for Claude. Is not coming by default. I mean, it's actually forgetting by default, I think. ChatGPT is actually
It's much better. And
right now. I mean, today is May 2026. I have to say I'm impressed. I'm starting a new conversation from scratch, from a new project from scratch, and
you remember things?
yeah,
Okay.
just remember everything, man.
Yes.
It's crazy. This morning I'm working on this project. Pretty much the business plan for a software we are creating. The software I mentioned, I use AI for coding, but in this case I was working the workflow and the user interaction, in this the user experience, and something I provide a project I create like 8 months ago, 10 months ago. ChatGPT actually started talking about it. It was crazy, man. It was, yeah, because like last year, I remember when we talked about this is new. I mean, this is amazing. Question number 5. What should people try this week?
That's a very good question as well. One thing that they could try for free, for sure, is going to your AI and asking it, especially if you're a small business owner. For example, your events. What's the best events company in Miami? Or what company would you recommend me if I need to do a wedding, if I need to do a quinceañera, if I need to do some kind of big event? What is the AI is recommending? Are they recommending you, or are they recommending your competitors? Yeah. I think that's something that everybody should try and see how, we'll probably talk about it in the future on how you could be one of those answers.
I feel something that if you are doing campaigns, you're paying for ads in Google and Meta, maybe evaluate, provide your numbers, provide your average ticket, and see how much money do you have to invest, or what's the process. Maybe create a strategy. That's also an amazing way you can start using. If you're already running campaigns, you definitely
need to try it. Okay, perfect. So, Jonathan, we would like to open the floor and kind of invite everybody. We're going to start doing events here at B&B offices. We could fit with maybe 8-10 people.
A little more, I think.
Yeah, a little bit more?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure around 20.
All right. So around 20 people, hopefully one day. So we want to start doing networking events where you guys come in, bring in your questions, bring in answers as well. The answers doesn't have to be relatively us, be someone that you connect with here, and they could give you answers of the questions that you're looking for. But for sure,
you can be part of this podcast, advertise your brand.
For sure, yeah. You could even ask questions here or give answers to people that are gonna watch it on YouTube.
Sure.
So we're gonna leave a link in the description for our Facebook group. Maybe we create other groups as well. But keep an eye out. They're gonna be in the description. We're gonna put the address. We're gonna put the time. Yep. We're gonna bring a couple beers. We'll hang out. We'll network. We'll answer questions. You guys will. Maybe we have questions for people watching as well.
Sure.
So that's the beautiful thing about, technology and coding and software and marketing.
And creating a community. If you're in South Florida, join us in person, cocktail networking, and real conversation. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Thank you.